Welcome back, Valley friends. Today we're helping Alice in the quest The Fractured Glass. To unlock this quest, you will need to reach level 7 friendship with Alice. And you'll need to have the following characters in your valley: Olaf, Mother Gothville, Scrooge McDuck, and Remy. Once you've met all the requirements, you can chat with Alice to get started. Alice does not seem to be her usual self and is acting a bit out of character. She tells us about how Olaf had dropped his trivia book in the mud, and Alice had found this very amusing. She was not concerned about the damage done to his prized possession. She continues telling us that she's been learning a lot from the adults in the valley. This all seems odd. We'll need to do some investigation, starting with Scrooge McDuck. We ask Scrooge whether he had any strange encounters with Alice. He tells us that she had been in his store earlier that day trying on all the new clothes Scrooge had just put out on display. But after trying them on, she didn't return anything to their correct place and just threw all the clothes in a pile. Scrooge was not happy about this and told Alice to stop being so silly. After spending some time pondering the events, Scrooge feels bad about how he reacted. Next we can chat with Mother. I'm sure she had no good advice to share with poor Alice. Mother had scolded Alice about getting her dress dirty in the Glade of Trust. This had caused Alice to be upset. Mother told her to stop taking things so seriously. After this, her mood seemed to improve according to Mother. She stopped being sad and seemed quite happy. Finally, we can check in with Olaf. I'm sure he's upset about his trivia book getting ruined. Olaf explains what had happened earlier in the day. He had come to visit Alice to show her his trivia book. As he approached her house, Alice came running out and Olaf tripped. His trivia book ended up falling into a puddle of mud, and many of the pages now have mud splatters on them. Alice was not concerned about her friend or his damaged book. She just laughed and said it was funny. When Olaf tried to explain why he was upset, Alice just told him that she was happy, and he should be too because there was nothing to be sad about. We reassure Olaf that we will keep investigating and figure out what is going on with Alice. For now, he should go see Merlin. Perhaps the wizard has a way to clean up his trivia book. We will need to head inside Alice's house to see if there are any clues there. We soon find a tiny little Alice hiding in a teapot, but that's not all. There are now 2 Alices. We will need to chat with the tiny Alice. Alice has split into 2. One Alice is happy and not bothered by anything, whilst our tiny teapot Alice is unbelievably sad. We try to get some information out of her, but unfortunately she's just too sad to answer any questions right now. Perhaps happy Alice has the answers we need. We'll need to chat with her. She also has no answers for us. We try asking her how we would be able to cheer up sad Alice, but happy Alice does not want to bother with sad people. According to her, they are no fun. So we try asking in a different way. She tells us she loves ice cream and it always makes her feel even happier. We will need to prepare some ice cream for sad Alice. Hopefully it helps cheer her up a bit. For this part of the quest, we will need to make banana ice cream, which requires banana, milk, slush ice, and sugar cane. Then we will need chocolate ice cream, which has the same ingredients. We just replace the banana with cocoa beans. And finally, we will need vanilla ice cream again with the same base ingredients and some vanilla. Once we prepare all the ice cream, we can head back inside Alice's house to give it to sad Alice. You will need to move around a bit to get the interact option. This will allow you to place the ice cream. After placing them, we can chat with her again. Alice says there is far too much ice cream and she'll never be able to eat it all, but we convince her to try just a little bit. This does the trick. Even though Alice is still sad, she's grown a bit and is now too big to fit in her teapot. She's still sad but can answer some of our questions now. She explains what had happened in Scrooge's store. He had scolded her for wrinkling all the clothes and wouldn't give her a chance to explain herself. He just said that she needed to stop being so silly or she would not be allowed in the store. When she left the store, she noticed that the magical kaleidoscope was glowing. When she looked through it, she found herself split from her happy self. After the two of them had been split, sad Alice kept looking through the kaleidoscope and turning it. This made her smaller and smaller until she felt she was the right size for how sad she felt. We'll need to go back to where this had all started and chat with Scrooge again. Happy Alice is loose in Scrooge's store and he's getting upset again. She doesn't care about the mess she's making and just laughs at Scrooge's angry face. We try to talk to him about his behavior towards Alice, but unfortunately Scrooge will not listen until his store has been cleaned up. We'll need to help clean the mess Alice has made in the store before continuing our conversation with Scrooge. We'll need to go around Scrooge's store and interact with all the piles of broken merchandise to remove them. Once we've cleaned up the store, we can chat with Scrooge again. We explain the situation to Scrooge and he feels terrible about how he had handled Alice earlier. We ask Scrooge if he could chat with sad Alice to try cheer her up. Whilst he heads to her house, we'll need to head over to Merlin. Hopefully, the wizard knows how to fix this mess with Alice and get the two parts of her to merge back together. After chatting with Scrooge, we can chat with Merlin. We explain everything to Merlin. He tells us we will need to firstly get sad Alice to her correct size. Once she's fully grown again, we will need to convince the two to merge back into one balanced Alice. Merlin suggests starting by bringing sad Alice a gift, something that would cheer her up enough to bring her back to her right size. We think some colorful flowers would cheer her up. Whilst we collect these, we ask Merlin to chat with Olaf, Mother, and Happy Alice to get them to join us in Alice's house. For this part of the quest, you will need to collect any 3 blue flowers, any 4 red flowers, and any 6 yellow flowers. Make sure you have them all in your bag. Once we're done collecting all the flowers, we can head inside Alice's house. Once you enter, you will need to watch a few different interactions. First will be Alice and Scrooge McDuck. Next we'll need to watch the interaction between sad Alice and Olaf. Up next is happy Alice and Mother. Once we're done watching the interactions, we can deliver the flowers to sad Alice. After everyone has apologized to Alice and we tell her it's okay to be a bit silly sometimes and that no one is mad at her, she finally grows back to her normal size again. Now we just need to get the two parts of Alice to combine again. Now that sad Alice is her proper size again, she'll need to convince happy Alice to merge with her. We will need to watch the interaction between the two. The two finally merge back together and we have our normal Alice back again. To be honest, I'm going to miss the teapot Alice. She was super cute. We can now chat with her to complete the quest, the fractured glass. As always, please leave us a like if you found this video useful and don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this. I will see you next time as we continue our adventures in the valley.